Every tiny home on this channel has the bedroom upstairs and the living room downstairs. You walk in the front door, living room, kitchen, then you climb to the loft, bedroom. That is the default. And for most tiny home sites, on most lots, the default is wrong. The view is upstairs. The light is upstairs. The privacy from the street is upstairs. The drama, the vaulted ceiling, the best window, the highest point of the structure, is upstairs. And you put the bedroom there. The upside-down tiny house puts the living room where the light is, the bedroom where the privacy is, and every spatial decision improves as a result. Welcome to affordable tiny living. Today, the inverted floor plan. The 6 reasons putting the living space upstairs outperforms the conventional arrangement on the right site. The exterior and interior, what it costs versus a standard layout, and the honest situations where the conventional plan is still correct. Subscribe right now. Let us get into it. The conventional tiny home floor plan, bedroom upstairs, living room downstairs, evolved from 2 practical realities. First, a loft is structurally simpler to add to a tiny home than a full second floor. A timber platform at mid-height, accessed by a ladder or ship's stair, with a railing at the edge. This is a low-cost way to add sleeping space without building a complete second structural level. The loft is cheap, and the bedroom uses it. Second, in the tiny homes that generated the most content and the most cultural influence, the Thau, the A-frame cabin, the forest retreat, the site was typically flat. The views were close and low, and the primary spatial drama was the interior volume rather than an external view. In these conditions, putting the bedroom in the loft and the living room at grade is spatially correct. But most people building a tiny home today are not building a Thau in a forest clearing with flat surroundings and no neighbors. They are building on a suburban infill lot, a hillside, a waterfront, a rural site with a distant view, or a lot where the street is close and the privacy concern is real. On these sites, the hillside, the waterfront, the view site, the privacy-constrained urban lot, the conventional floor plan puts the best asset of the site in the room that uses it least, and the room that benefits most from the best asset at grade, where the site offers it least. The upside-down plan corrects this directly. Reason 1. The view is upstairs. On any site where there is a distant view, water, mountains, a cityscape, an open agricultural landscape, the elevated level captures that view more completely than the ground level. Trees, fences, neighboring structures, and grade changes that interrupt a ground-level view may not interrupt an upper-level view. The living room is the room used for the most waking hours per day. Putting the living room at the level where the site's primary asset, the view, is most accessible is the correct spatial decision. Reason 2. The light is upstairs. The upper level of any 2-level structure receives more natural light than the lower level, because it is above the obstructions, neighboring buildings, fences, vegetation, that block ground-level light. On a constrained urban or suburban site, where natural light is the primary spatial luxury, the room that deserves the most light is the living room, not the bedroom. A bedroom needs darkness for sleep. A living room needs light for daily living. The upside-down plan gives each room what it needs. Reason 3. Privacy. From the street is resolved at grade. In a conventional plan, the downstairs living room faces the street through its primary windows, and every person who walks or drives past has a direct sightline into the home's most used social space. The upside-down plan puts the bedroom downstairs and the living room upstairs. The downstairs bedroom can have smaller windows, higher sill heights, and more privacy-oriented glazing. It does not need to face the street generously. The upstairs living room is above the street-level sightline and can be more freely glazed without privacy compromise. Reason 4. The kitchen is quieter. At grade, kitchen noise, appliances, extraction fans, the sounds of cooking and cleaning, generates more acoustic disruption than any other domestic activity. In a conventional upside-down plan, where the kitchen goes upstairs with the living room, the sound from the kitchen travels downward into the bedroom below. A better configuration places the kitchen at grade, on the same level as the bedroom, where it can be separated from the sleeping zone by a partition wall on the same horizontal plane, rather than relying on a floor structure to provide acoustic separation. A solid partition wall is a better acoustic barrier than a timber floor plate of the same cost. The upstairs plan works best when the kitchen stays at grade, adjacent to the bedroom, and only the living and dining function moves upstairs, with food carried upstairs or prepared in a small kitchenette upstairs, and the main kitchen remaining below. Reason 5. Guests enter, at grade, never penetrate the private zone. In the upside-down plan, guests arrive at the entry door, move through the ground-level transition space, and access the living area upstairs, without passing through or adjacent to the bedroom. In a conventional plan, the entry at grade opens directly to the living space that sits beside or in front of the sleeping zone, requiring the bedroom to be screened from the social space by partitions or doors. The upside-down plan's vertical separation, living above, sleeping below, is a more complete privacy solution than any horizontal partition on a single level. Reason 6. The structural drama is in the right room. In a vaulted, A-frame, or high-ceiling tiny home, the most dramatic interior volume is always at the top. The cathedral ceiling, the ridge beam, the peak where the light falls at its most vertical. In a conventional plan, this dramatic volume is above the bedroom, wasted on a room where the occupant's eyes are closed. In the upside-down plan, the bedroom is below, where the ceiling is lower and the room is more intimate, which is exactly what a bedroom benefits from. The living room is above, where the ceiling is highest and the interior drama is at its peak, which is exactly what a living room benefits from. The upside-down interior is organized around the stair as the spatial hinge between the private lower level and the social upper level. Quieter, more private, more intimate. Lower ceiling. The underside of the upper floor structure above. This lower ceiling height is not a compromise in a bedroom. It is correct. Bedrooms benefit from compression and enclosure. The lower level's ceiling height of 7 to 8 feet is comfortable for sleeping and dressing without feeling exposed to the volume above. The bathroom is also at this level, adjacent to the bedroom for private morning use, without requiring the occupant to descend or ascend stairs for a night or morning bathroom trip. The stair between the two levels is the most important design element in the plan, because it is used every time someone moves between private and social life in the home. A ship's stair at 60 to 65 degrees, steeper than a conventional stair but gentler than a ladder. At 24 inches wide is the most space-efficient option for a tiny home. A conventional stair at 36 inches wide and 45 degrees consumes significantly more floor area, but is more comfortable for carrying dishes, laundry, and guests. The decision between them is about how frequently the stair is used and by whom. The upper level opens into the most dramatic space in the building, the highest ceiling, the best view, the most natural light. The living area faces the primary view through the large upper-level glazing, a small kitchenette for morning coffee and simple meals, integrated into one wall of the upper living space, reduces the number of stair trips during normal daily use. A dining area positioned at the view window. Seating organized to face both the view and the central social space. The upside-down plan has no inherent cost premium over the conventional two-level tiny home layout. The structural system is identical, a lower level and an upper level connected by a stair. The floor area on each level is the same. The mechanical and plumbing systems serve the same functions on the same levels. The one cost difference: the stair. In a conventional tiny home loft plan, the sleeping loft is often accessed by a simple ladder rather than a ship's stair or a full stair, because the bedroom is used only for sleeping and the occupant makes 1 or 2 trips per day. In an upside-down plan, the stair to the upper living level is used many times per day by the occupant and potentially by guests. A ladder is not appropriate. A ship's stair at minimum, a conventional stair ideally. Cost difference between a loft ladder and a ship's stair: $400 to $800 in favor of the latter. Cost difference between a ship's stair and a conventional stair: $1,500 to $3,500 in favor of the ship's stair. The upside-down plan typically costs $400 to $4,300 more than an equivalent conventional plan of the same floor area, driven entirely by the stair specification. On a total project cost of $80,000 to $180,000, this is a 0.2 to 5.4% premium for a floor plan that is meaningfully better suited to the site. The conventional tiny home floor plan was developed for the conventional tiny home site. Flat, closed, no significant view, modest light conditions. On those sites, the bedroom in the loft and the living room at grade is correct. On the sites where most people actually want to build a tiny home in 2026, a hillside with a view, a waterfront lot, an urban infill lot where privacy from the street matters, the conventional plan is giving the best asset of the site to the room that uses it least. The upside-down plan gives it to the room that uses it most. That is not a design experiment. It is the correct spatial response to the site. So here is what we want to know. Does your site have a view, a hillside, or a privacy challenge from the street that the upside-down plan would address? Or are you on a flat site where the conventional plan is genuinely correct? Drop your honest answer in the comments. We read every single one. Subscribe to Affordable Tiny Living if you are not already here. We go this deep every single week. Thank you for spending this time with us here at Affordable Tiny Living. Architects and designers experienced in inverted floor plan tiny homes, ship stair suppliers, hillside site foundation specialists, and view-oriented glazing suppliers are all linked in the description below. Subscribe, hit the bell. We are here every week, making sure the floor plan matches the site before the first board is cut. And we will see you in the next one.